The Lost City of Atlantis, a place thought to be some sort of pseudo-history by definition, yet thought to be a very real place by believers. And after all this time, effort, and money spent on trying to find it, could a YouTuber have actually discovered the real location of the Lost City of Atlantis? Let's discuss on today's Peculiar Occurrences. Atlantis, a place written about by Plato in his writings Timaeus and Critias. All other references to Atlantis come from this original source. Now, Plato wasn't actually alive during the time of Atlantis. This was supposed to be information passed down to him by someone named Solo. He was an Athenian statesman and poet. Now, Atlantis, the stories of Atlantis, hit the scenes about 2,400 years ago. Now, Plato described it as an island nation of advanced antiquities, and that this powerful kingdom had fallen into the ocean in just one bad night and one bad day. And this was supposed to have happened around 9,600 BC. And the Greeks were always divided on whether Plato's account should be taken as history or myth. Ever since the 19th century, people have been trying to spot the location of the lost city of Atlantis. Plato had described Atlantis as an island that was larger than Libya and Asia Minor put together, located in the Atlantic just beyond the Pillars of Hercules. Its culture was supposed to be very advanced to the point of having a constitution of law, and they were supposed to be protected by the water god Poseidon. Poseidon had made his son Atlas king and namesake of the island and the oceans that surrounded it. As the Atlanteans grew in power, their ethics started to slip. They actually were supposed to have gone on to conquer most of Africa all the way up into Egypt and even Europe before being driven back by Athenians. This was supposed to have made Atlantis fall out of favor with the gods. So as part of a divine punishment, the island was hit with massive earthquakes and floods that made it disappear. Now, Plato's character Critias claims in the story to have heard this story from his grandfather, who had heard it from an Athenian statesman named Solo about 300 years prior. And Solo supposedly heard it from an Egyptian priest who had said that it had happened nearly 9,000 years before that. So it was like 300 years before Plato and then 9,000 years before that. So the historical accuracy of Plato's tale was very controversial back then and still is to this day. Now, from time to time, archaeologists and treasure seekers alike often find locations, old cities, and things of that nature that they believe could be Atlantis. Now, a YouTuber believes he's found the true location of Atlantis, and he has some pretty compelling evidence. A YouTube channel named Bright Insight claims to have found the lost city of Atlantis in Africa that has a lot of similarities with the things that was written about Atlantis by Plato. And guys, I watched his videos and he just made it like blatantly obvious that this is it. I really think that he could be onto something with this. He believes it is a place called the Ratchet Structure, a place also known as the Eye of Africa or the Eye of the World, since it is big enough to be used as a location pin to astronauts. The bizarre circular feature has always been thought to have been caused by an asteroid, though no tests have ever been done and no evidence of this actually exists. And scientists in more recent times have concluded that this place could be naturally made. Yet, Bright Insight really has linked parts of Plato's description to this area, this place in the Sahara Desert. Plato states in his text that Atlantis was destroyed in 11,600 BC, which also aligns with a comet that scientists say hit Earth and started the Ice Age. Could this have been what truly destroyed Atlantis? This could have caused tidal waves that would have engulfed the eye of the world. I mean, it is somewhat far off from the shore, but lines in the dirt and such prove that at one time water did used to come up and maybe even surround the eye of the world. But the coincidences don't end there. According to the channel, the ratchet structure has an outer diameter of 23.5 kilometers or 14.6 miles. And this was supposed to be according to Google Maps. In Plato's writings, the diameter of Atlantis was supposed to have been 127 standa, which would equal 23.49 kilometers in today's terms. So it matches up. Plato described the city of Atlantis being made up of several circles, 2 of land and 3 of water. This description is very similar to what the Eye of Africa looks like when being viewed through a satellite today. It's made up of several circles and indentions, as you can see in these pictures, that could have been very well filled with water at one time, with water coming up to the bank of the very city. Plato also described a huge mountain range around it, and along with a plateau above it, which can be seen to be what this is over at the Eye of the Sahara. That matches it perfectly. We are seeing several circles with a mountain range, with a plateau, just like Plato had described. As well, Plato also described that the mountain structure around the city had rivers running down it and down towards into the city. Now, if you look at the mountains around the Eye of Africa, you see that there are dry riverbeds running all through the mountains down into the structure, just like Plato had described. And the similarities between the Eye of Africa and Atlantis just go on and on and on and on. As a matter of fact, Bright Insight has made, up to date of making this video, 3 videos on the subject. And I got really into it, and I would suggest that if you want to know more about this, that you go over and you check out Bright Insight, because I'm not going to, steal their rep and do 3 videos myself. I just thought I'd give you guys some insight about this, because it doesn't seem to have made it around very much. But I personally think that this guy could really be onto something, and if this interests you, I will put links to his YouTube channel down in the description below, and you guys should really go and check them out. So what do you think about this peculiar occurrence? I want to know what you think down below in my comments. Have you seen the videos from Bright Insight? And if so, what do you think about his theories? Do you believe that Atlantis was a real place depicted by Plato? Or do you believe that Plato used Atlantis as some sort of metaphor? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit up my description box for your Peculiar Occurrence merch. And don't forget to hit that like button and share this out with all your peculiar friends. And if you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so that you know when I upload. And until next time, keep your eyes peeled for all things peculiar. Do 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 do. Yeah. I shouldn't have clapped, but that's okay. Hit me up on social media. Yeah. Hit me up on social media. Twitter, Facebook, MeWe, all that. Patreon. I'm on it all. I'm on it all. Pinterest, all that. Hit me up. I'll see you there. Peace.
Are you listening? Damn.